sent the application in, did the
all right, that's better.
Greetings. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, great. Now that's weird.
Yeah.
Okay, good. How you doing?
What's going on?
Good. Long time no see.
Yeah.
Question. I've been having issues trying to get a passport, a U.S. passport. Last year, sent an application in, did the declaration statement and everything, just as I was following your former partner's methods. So you know, I don't
say his name, Jonah. Yeah.
You sure? Okay. I just want to make sure. I don't want to tell me.
I don't say it on the radio because I don't want.
I understand.
Talk that up.
Yeah. Okay. So I was trying to hit his process and sent it in. They sent back that I was a U.S. citizen. Okay, according to my birth certificate, and I even did a whole process, a whole 1, 2, 3 process.
What do you mean you sent them you rebutted their letter?
Say again?
You sent rebuttals, a response.
Yes. Okay. Yes. And no response, so they went in default.
90 days passed.
Right. So I figured it could cost me more money and time to try to fight this, whatever. So I just got my authenticated birth certificate back. So basically, I'm back to where I started.
That has nothing to do with why you got turned down, whether it's authenticated birth certificate or not.
Say again?
That has nothing to do with you being turned down.
No. Right. But I just want to.
Did they have any other reasons why they were turning you down?
No, they just basically said, according to my birth certificate, I was a U.S. citizen. I was like, but the birth certificate it's a state document.
You can always get that letter with his affidavit.
Say again?
You can always get that letter with his affidavit.
What do you mean?
You get whose explanatory statement did you use?
I created one.
You created your own. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. You didn't use his. But how did you use this method? I don't get it.
Well, I mean, basically, he said, that I needed one, so I created one, right?
Right.
You know, I didn't necessarily use his.
Okay, got you. All right, you okay? You got a consultation with him, and he told you what to do.
Right. No, with that too, in personal, he has some webinars on it as well.
You talking about the super injunction?
Say again?
The super injunction. The only webinar he had on the passport was a super injunction.
Okay, I guess that was it.
Was it? Okay. I'm trying to locate what information you got so I can know what to correct, because I don't.
Yeah. I mean,
was it a YouTube video? Was it a actual personal webinar he did?
Webinar he did.
He did a webinar on the passport. Okay.
Right.
So what did he tell you to do in that webinar with the application? Other than how to fill it out, that's not what I'm asking you. When it came to the oath, what did you do to that part?
Well, I said the explanatory,
I know
explanation form.
Skip the explanatory statement.
Yeah.
The part where you had to sign it. What did you do that on the application itself?
As far as signing it?
Yeah. Before you signed it, did you do anything in the oath? You know how you take an oath before the post office, whoever you went into, and they read that little paragraph? Did you do anything there?
I think I crossed out the
You crossed out national.
Right.
That's your problem. That's the problem.
Huh?
That's the problem.
Oh, so y'all changed? Oh, it was different?
I didn't change anything. That's what he taught.
Okay. So that was wrong.
Of course. It's dead wrong.
Okay, all right.
Now, you paid for a regular did you pay for a nationality consultation or a regular one? You paid for a regular one. Yeah, this is not the one you're supposed to have picked. But I'm gonna help you out real quick and show you why it's wrong. If you read the oath, it tells you exactly what to do. I'm surprised he's still teaching it that way. Now, if you saw it on a webinar, you must have got that super injunction video that he did back in 2016.
I don't know.
Did you get on a live webinar?
Yeah, live one.
He did it live and taught y'all how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you have a copy of it?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. You said you went on a live, like you was there and you was able to ask questions in that webinar.
Right.
Because I didn't realize he did another one. Okay, well, he's still teaching people all fucked up then.
Okay.
I can't believe he's still teaching it. Well, you know what? I can understand that because it was at the time I discovered the mistakes that we split off and stopped working together.
Okay.
Because I had questioned the method because I had hold on one second. Hold on. All right, okay. You got, and in that letter, they probably said that you need to redo the application.
Yeah.
Right. Because see, the U.S. citizen part is the distraction. The real answer is what they're telling you. She said, it says you can't alter the application. How do I know that? How do I know that that's what that letter says? You didn't read it to me. Because that's the answer I got when I followed his process.
Okay, but in the instruction part, it says that I guess you can't alter it.
The real instructions is in the oath that you take before you sign it. That's the real instructions. The other instructions just show you, okay, do this, do that. But read that oath right off the DS-11 right now.
I declare under penalty of perjury all of the following. One, I'm a citizen or non-citizen national of the United States and have not since acquiring U.S. citizenship or nationality performed any of the acts listed under the acts or conditions on the application.
Keep going.
On page 4, I'm sorry, page 4, the instructions of the application on this explanatory statement is attached.
Oh, so what did he just tell you? Break it down. Tell me what it just said to you.
It's declaring I'm a citizen.
Saying that you are a U.S. citizen unless you follow the instructions on page 4 of the application and provide an explanatory statement. So in order not to be looked at a U.S. citizen or you're a person, you got to do those two things. It didn't say do anything else. But those two things.
Oh.
It didn't say line out national right there. Now, go to page 4, acts and conditions.
Yeah.
Read that very first paragraph. It's only about 2 lines.
Acts and conditions. The first line, if any of the below mentioned acts, conditions have been performed by or applied to the applicant, the portion of which applies should be lined out.
Right. So, read again because you skipped something.
If any of the below mentioned acts or conditions have
Stop right there. It said below mentioned acts. So that means those next paragraphs is where you got to do your line outs. And then supply your explanatory statements. That's the only thing you had to do. It didn't say go back to the oath. Because you know that section is in a box, right?
Yeah.
So that means only put that when it say below mentioned line out, it says You got to pay attention to what's in that box and line it out so that it applies to you.
But you don't send this page in though.
Yes, you do. Why? You see, that means you filled out the application online. Right?
I guess so.
You took the DS-11 online and filled it out. See, the one online is for U.S. citizens.
Oh no. I didn't do that, but I didn't get anything except for the application part. I didn't give them
no. When you do the one from the post office, page 4 is on back of the parents' page.
Right.
Yes, so you do send it in. It's attached.
Okay, I did
because it comes as a folder. It's folded up, and you
Right.
pull off the parts you don't need. And on the back of the parents' page is page 4.
Okay,
And it becomes attached to your application.
Okay, yeah, I didn't. I guess I messed it up. I just gave them the 2 pages that says U.S. application.
See, now you're starting to light is coming in there, right?
Okay,
So you start to pay attention, right?
Okay.
See what happens. I didn't go tell you my opinion. I had you read it and figure it out.
Right.
Right.
I was reading that, but in no instructions that I hear that I put to send in page 4. But
right. No. It says follow the instructions on page 4. But you sending it, if you do the application from the post office, page 4 is going to be part of the application automatically.
Yeah. I mean,
yes.
all I guess 6 pages are part of the application, but I didn't send in anything but the part.
Right. Okay. They're going to tear off the other part, and you're going to have a double fold, front and back, and that goes to them. Only national is supposed to fill out you only could do the one at the post office. That's for nationals. The one online is for U.S. citizens.
Yeah, I did the paper form.
So now you got to figure out what you're supposed to line out. And the key word is portion that applies.
Right.
Portion.
Right.
That's the part you got to. Now, I'm not going to tell you that in the call because you didn't pay for the right consultation. I'm just giving you the direction to look at.
That's fine. I'm not. I had more than one question.
So so you didn't get his affidavit. If he did a live webinar, I'm surprised he's still teaching it that way because that's the wrong way.
This is over a year ago. Okay, so I mean,
yeah, it's still wrong. It's still wrong.
Huh? Yeah.
It's still wrong. You know, because look, you didn't get your passport.
No,
I got that letter because I followed his instructions. You'll never get your passport if you do it exactly. If you line out national, you might have gotten it if you didn't line out that word national. Just that. Because you just altered the oath when you did that, and you can't alter that. So in order to be looked at as a national, you just follow the instructions that the oath just told you. Go do your explanatory statements and follow instructions on page 4. And you don't fulfill the obligation of not looking like a U.S. citizen.
And send in page 4.
Brother, you got to go do a whole new application. So, because you altered that oath.
Right, yeah, I understand that.
It's not that you sending in anything to them. When you do the application, page 4 is part of it automatically. Okay. It doesn't come separate. It's part of the application.
Yeah. I did that. Yeah, I did that separately. Okay.
Right. Don't separate. Okay. It's part of the application. It says, do what it says over there. They say follow instructions on page 4 because they know page 4 is already part of the application. That's the part people don't even read.
Right. That's understood. I read. I just didn't include it in what I sent into them. Okay.
What do you mean by you didn't include it? Because if you did the one for the post office, it comes as part of it. It is not separated.
Right, but I separated it when I had it in because I had to go down to the I had to go downtown Atlanta and take it to the court, and they sent it in from there.
Yeah, but you have 2 pages of applications that you fill out, your page and then your parents' page. that page 4 is on the back of the parents' page automatically.
Okay. No.
When you flip it over, it's on the back.
Yeah. No, I didn't get that way. I don't know why.
No, then you couldn't have gotten it from the post office then.
But I think what I'm looking at now is they're all separated. All the pictures are separated.
Yeah, but if they're separated, you flip that page over. Acts and conditions should be on the back of the parents' page.
Okay, that's fine. I got it. But does your process work?
What do you mean by it don't work? I got my passport sitting my way. I've helped thousands of people get their passport application. I'm just telling you what to do.
No. I mean, not just the passport, but just like the trust, the genealogy.
Yeah, the trust. The reason why I have people set up trust so that they can do their 1041 tax returns and do their OIDs, to claim their deposits on their bank statements and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I heard OID mentioned in years, so that's why I was intrigued.
Yeah, OID usually get people in trouble when they don't do it correctly, But I do it; it's done correctly. No problems.
And people have got money back from your process.
10 million, yes. And that static are being sacrificed, and that's if your stuff's not available, they can't hear it. Sometimes you got to feel your way through the dark, and I struggled all the way up into the minute. Peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to all you guys.
This is Hindsight Radio. I represent it, the information station changing the nation.
Peace. What's up? Yo, I just pulled out a random recording, and I played it. That was actually a consultation I did about 2 years ago. I think it was, I think it was from 2022. Yeah. And I didn't know what was on it, so I didn't plan on just playing that and had all that information on there. But it was some good information, like, about the processes. There's a lot of people teaching the passport that believe they know what they're doing, and they don't. And one of the reasons why I like that I played that, because you got to listen to a raw call that I did. And you didn't hear me give my opinion on anything. I had him read it and explain it to himself. See, that's how I teach. I go to their stuff and say, here, read this, read that. Now, if they're still a little foggy, I break it down for them. You see what I'm saying? Now, one thing I did notice, he was not telling the truth about the fact that he had got that application offline. He printed it out offline because all passport applications from the post office, the actual passport, page 4 is always, the acts and conditions is always, or page 4 is always on the back of the parents' page where you put your parents' information down. Always. So that it can be a part of the application. Now, of course, we were teaching from the very first method of doing a passport. Since then, they have switched up the application since I started freeing a lot of minds, freeing some people. They switched it up. Now you don't have to do line outs. So those, actually, to me, it's better this way. Because all I do is attach an affidavit. I state the facts of my birth, the facts of my religious affiliations, and any other pertinent information, my facts of my nationality as an affidavit, get it notarized, submit that with the application. I make sure I follow the instructions of the oath, where I make sure it's clear of what need to be included on my affidavit. I just did it for my daughter. I'm going to do a webinar showing you how to do it for your kids properly, what you need to be doing. Because this is going to become important later on when they start going to dealing with different governmental entities, even with dealing with the hospital. You know, my daughter just had an issue where she had to go to the emergency room because she was having issues with her stomach. And, you know, they were asking about shots and all that. And I say, it's our religious protection. You know, religiously, we don't do that. See, all of that stuff's on file. So, yeah. Of course, people still are confused. And the reason why and rightfully so, people are confused because they are still listening to different sources, and that's okay. If you want to, you know, vet me, go somewhere else and just make sure you're vetting everybody, not just believing everything. Like recently, someone just lost their home, lost everything. They had 5 properties and they've lost them all trying these processes that I told many people that they didn't work. Even this person that lost their home had, you know, I met them back in 2019 and I warned them. I was helping them at first, but they wouldn't listen to me. They thought the other processes were a better process than what I teach. My process was too simple for them. Everything I've taught anybody, it was not complicated. It wasn't more than 1 page of information to do. Like my affidavit for the passport is 1 page. It doesn't go into a story about the Moors and the United States 1933 and the Social Security Administration Act and World War II and 3 and 4 and 5 and Roosevelt D. Franklin did this and that. It doesn't have all of that nonsense in there. I just stick to the facts. I just talk about what pertains to me. They want to know what my nationality is. They don't really care about my religious affiliations, but I put that in there because as soon as I put religious on the header, they don't read anything else. Because we can't question this no matter what it says. So let it on by. I was talking to the post office guy. He said, you know, people come in here with nose rings, earrings, and stuff. And I think I mentioned just a couple of weeks ago. He said if they just write an affidavit saying it's part of their religion, they could do anything. They could wear a hat, they could wear scarves, they could wear their nose rings, all of that. If all you have to do is say it's your religion, they can't question that. And they take it. See, and that's where people have gotten lost. Our churches has basically sacrificed us off to the governmental entities because they didn't teach us that our faith is what protects us from the infringement of the governmental entities infringing on our rights. That's why we have faith, religion, because they will serve as a protection to separate you. But what has happened? The churches has actually become a part of the plan, and they have become a tool to bring you into the governmental religious structure. And yes, that is a religious structure. It's a religion. They put on there, "In God we trust." They said the Bible is ordained by God. They declared it. They make you swear on the Bible. That's all indications that it is a religious entity operating according to its bylaws and religious instructions that they have. Of course, their instructions almost always interfere or hurt you. The taxes you pay is just really your dues, your membership dues. For what? For using their franchise, the Social Security number.
for using their birth certificates that they get from their integrated auxiliaries, which is called the states. Right. The states are integrated auxiliaries of the United States and Congress assembled. So they get you to do what? Get a birth certificate under their religious integrated auxiliary. Just like in the old days when the church would do birth certificates and do christening certificates, baptismal certificates to keep a record of their members. That's what the government is doing. They just said, oh, these are certificate of live birth. These are birth certificate. These are social. They didn't tell you, they didn't give you the whole story and told you that this is our record of our members in our congregations. And just like anything you're a part of when you're a member, they want dues. And how do they get the dues? Oh, to become a member, you need to come get your driver's license. Get your voter's registration cards. Register your car and pay your member. In order to register your card into our integrated auxiliary, you need to pay the registration fees. Then they created highways, right? Because they know once they pave the roads and they invest money into the infrastructure, now they will get to charge you for using that infrastructure because they put the money into it. So that becomes a part of their religious structure. Then what they did was they renamed the streets. They gave them zip codes, U.S. zip codes. So you're not actually paying taxes on the land. You're paying taxes on the zip codes because it's sitting inside of a county. That zip code is sitting inside of a county, and they're using those entities in order to bill you. See, they know they can't take the fresh dirt and charge you because they didn't create that, but they did create the asphalt and the sidewalks and all of that stuff. This is why you have homeowners associations. They buy up the land and then they create an infrastructure. They do the landscaping, and to be a part of that HOA, you got to give them money to keep all of that up, and then you got to follow their rules. Why? Because they paid for the infrastructure of that subdivision. The land belongs to them. Right. All of that's in trust too. You see? Somebody said the sound was low. How's that? That better? How's the sound now? I turned up my volume here a little bit. How's that sound? So that's what you're dealing with. But if you create your own religious structure and then you take all your birth certificates and create them within that structure, there's no jurisdiction to be gained. None. None. Any questions on that? Somebody got their hand up on my thing. I don't know if y'all gonna be able to hear them. Let me see if I can bring them in. Oh, he took his hand down. I guess it was a mistake. All right. Indie Circle Ministry said, I remember we used to bring the big family Bible that set out on the center of the coffee table to church and record the baptism and dedication of child to the Lord. And it had everyone's birth record too. Right. That's the way it's supposed to do. But now they done tricked everybody out of that. So now no one does it that way, and they do it the governmental way under their religious structure, under their "in God we trust." They created a covenant under their religion through the "in God we trust." You see? So you gotta be careful of what you're doing here. So I'm gonna do a seminar on or webinar on um, how to do the passport for your child. We're gonna do that. I'm looking for something. I'm looking for something here. You know, I'm not gonna make a long show because I have some things I need to get off here and do, some paperwork to write up. But I wanted to share something about, and I talk about this pretty much weekly, but I thought it was also important to talk about it some more. So, but before I do that, I'm going to run out. I need to get some. I'm thirsty, so I'm gonna run downstairs and get my water jug and come right back. So I will be right back. All right, I'm back. Shout out to my boy Thomas. He bought me this Yeti as a gift, man. I heard a lot about these things, but they really live up to their expectations. I'm not advertising them, but I put that ice in like earlier today, and man, that thing's still cold. So, where was I? Where was I? I kind of thought of what was I talking about? What was I gonna talk about? Well, I think this is what I was gonna talk about. A lot of times we have things that we need to get done. We don't know how it's going to get done. This actually goes into what one of the things, if you want to manifest things, one of the points I wanted to make. And I mentioned it briefly on Thursday, on Level Up Thursday. And remember, go Level Up Thursday is now located on Above and Beyond's channel. So it won't be on this channel anymore. It'll be on her channel. So she left the link. I don't have the link to share. I got to get her to send me the link for that so I can share it when I'm doing my show. Corinne, if you got your link, go ahead and put it in the chat. I think you are on here. I believe you're there. Put your link in the chat. As soon as possible. Thank you. So a lot of times you want things to happen. Like, for example, right? I'm not a medication taker, but I had these stents put in, and in order for my body not to reject them, there's a specific medication I need to take so that my body don't reject them and cause me complications, namely another heart attack. It might be more severe. So I have to take this medication, and this medication is $580 a month. Just one bottle of this medication, right? I can get a discount and it'll be $477, right? I did find it cheaper. I have to get the prescription. I could get it out of Canada, right? So for the last 2 weeks, they said they would pay for it, but I had to show them all of this stuff and blah, blah, blah. And it just seems like every time I tried something, I ran into more things that they wanted from me. And I ran out. Like today was the last day. Well, Friday I ran out. They gave me 3 days supply. I paid for that just to make sure that I can get the medication. So I didn't have to pay as much. So 3 days was up, and that was today. I had one pill left, and I took that this morning. I got to take another one when I get off the show. So I was like, man, I'm going to just go ahead and pay for the medication because I need it. Listen, I'm not an advocate for hospitals, but in extreme circumstances, you do need doctors. They are useful. But for your everyday nutrition, I don't believe in doctors. Like I don't think they teach well when it comes to that, because in the hospital when it was nothing but junk that was all I can get in there, junk food, but sodas and stuff. But we're not gonna talk about that. But so I tried this and I tried that. I'm telling you this story for a reason. I tried this and tried that. Okay, it wasn't working, and I just surrendered. I said I'm gonna go up here. I'm gonna get it. Now I was gonna make it more convenient for me and pull the prescription from there to a local Walgreens, which was a couple of minutes from my house, instead of driving all the way to the pharmacy at the hospital, which was about 20 minutes away. But something in my spirit said, do not move that medication from there. Now, funny thing is, last week I pulled it over to Walgreens so I could pay the discounted price. And then something just urged me to go there. And then we pulled it back. They gave me the 3 days supply. Fast forward to today. I said, well, last week, the guy said the medication would be almost $500 even with their discount. And then I said, well, if it's going to be more, I might as well go to Walgreens. And that's why I was thinking about doing it today, just pulling it over to Walgreens. Then something said, no, don't do that. Don't do it. It's going to be all right. And I listened to the voice. So I went up to the counter, fully ready to pay. Well, earlier that day, the lady said, well, no, it'll be $477. So I said, it's no difference in Walgreens, so I might as well go here and get it anyway. So went there to get it, fully ready. I had my card out, ready to pay for it. I had it out, ready to pay. Then the guy said, how you doing? I said, I'm doing great. How are you doing? He said, yeah, I'm doing good too. I said, you know what? I'd feel a lot better if you guys give me a better discount on that medication. And I was joking. I was just throwing that out there, right? I thought he was, oh yeah, I wish I could too. And then he said, hold on. He said, hold on a second. I think I can help you. He said, I think I can help you. I think they got some type of manufacturer's coupon that you can get. I'm thinking, well, it's a few dollars off, because I saw the manufacturer's coupon that it was like $5 off. That's what I was thinking. He said, no. Just give me, if you don't mind waiting, I think I could help you out. Did everything. And that took about 10, 15 minutes. And he handed me the medication. He said, there you go. You don't have to pay. I was like, what? I was like, what? I ain't got. He said, no, I got you. The manufacturer had this thing where you can get a free 30-day supply first time out the gate. And I was like, cool. I'll take that. But see, the point of my story is don't get frustrated. Don't get upset. Whatever the situation is going to be, it's going to be that. And see, that little voice is always talking to you, but a lot of times we so caught up in, no, it's got to be this. It's got to be trying to figure things out. You don't have to figure it out. It's already figured out for you. You just got to go into the flow and the energy and the direction that the spirit is taking you. See, all you need is the desire. Let me turn this music down real quick. I don't know if it's too loud for you, but it's a little distracting for me. All you need is the belief that it's going to be okay. You know what you want. You write it down. Remember I told you guys to write it down, say it over and over and over and over and over and over again. And you work towards it. See, a lot of times we want stuff, but we want to know how we're going to get it. The how is not important. That's the secret. How is not important. How you get it is how not. I've seen in situations where people got what they wanted, but how they got it, they didn't like it. Like, for instance, you want to know something. You want to be taught something. Somebody's got some information, but it's coming from a person you don't like. Or it's coming from a person that uses a lot of profanity, and you're not a person that uses profanity. I don't like the fact that he's cursing. I don't like the fact that he says it like that. But the content of the information is good and valuable, but you so judgmental, you can't look over the cursing and look over the condescending attitude and hear what they have to say. That's why the Bible says not to judge, or you yourself will be judged. Because the best information that I've gotten was from people that I didn't typically want to be in their company or listen to. People will not learn from a billionaire just because he curses and he doesn't say things like, he's not proper in his speech. You see? And typically the ones that pass these hard judgments on people that don't speak a certain way, they don't have the financial they're not financially sound to be judging anybody. So you need to get that information however you get it. Now, had I not been polite to the guy, had I not, oh, I was friendly, and he returned the favor of being friendly. And even his coworker came over and saw the price. He said, and they both worked together to get me that medication, that 36. So that give me 30 days to figure out how to get this medication where I don't have to pay that much. So that give me time. But see, money is not an object. Money is not an obstacle to the things that you really need. I'm going to say it again. Money is not an obstacle. Only thing that's an obstacle is your mind. It's your mindset and your attitude. What you believe in your mind. I knew I was going to get the medication today. And in my mind, I said, well, I'm just going to pay for it. I surrendered to the idea that it's what it is. I didn't complain about it. I didn't get upset about it. It's just what it had to be. I had to give up that doubt. But the Spirit said, nah, you good. Go get it. You see, God knows what you need. And how God lets you know what you need and where you need to flow, it speaks within you in that quiet voice that's guiding you. The one that we typically try to ignore because it ain't loud and boisterous. It's not forceful. It's not judgmental. It's not like, hey, man, you know you need to listen to me. It's not doing that. It's going to say what it has to say and leave it at that. Whether you like it or not, it's not going to force you. And then when you come to your senses, it's going to say, you really need to try what I suggested earlier. It's not going to beat you up. Hey, you know, you were stupid for not listening to like most people would do. It's just going to say, hey, it's going to repeat itself. Yeah, this is what you need to do. It's going to give you directions, non-judgmental directions. That's what's important. Learning how to hone that skill to listen to your inner voice. You see, every other entity out there is not telling you what I'm telling you. Now, there's people who say the same thing that teach this information just like I do, but those bigger establishments, they're telling you, no, you can't trust your own self. I've heard people in church say that. You can't lean on your own understanding, and they pull out the Bible and say that. You need to listen to me because I'm God's chosen voice in this church to teach you. Now, what? How do you vet that? How do you vet that that's accurate? I'm mad thirsty. How? God gave you the power. And guess what? When you're listening to the inner voice, you're not really listening to the egoic self. You listen to the higher self, the one that's closely connected and has a direct source of information that comes directly from God. Everybody has that ability, but not everybody uses that ability. They choose to surrender that part of their ability over to someone else who's. Remember, when people are getting information and downloads, that's mainly for them. That's mainly for them. It's it's a Yeti. Yeti. It's mainly for them. You see? So all of these goals and aspirations, these things you want to do, don't worry about how it's gonna get done, because it's gonna get done. Just put in the work, the mind work. There's only one work you got to do is your mind. Get your mind right. Everything else follows. Get the head right. Everything else falls into place. Head right. Everything else falls into place. So the only thing you have to mind is your business, meaning mind your mental thoughts every day, what you're thinking about, what you're taking in, who you're talking to. Be on the watch for that. Because that you'll get some negative energy, and you know you're riding that energy wave, negative energy wave, and you're lost for a minute. But the good thing about that is you could be lost, but you could be found in just split second. And what does it take? Just to be mindful that, hey, I'm lost. I need to get back on track. That's it. What are you listening to? Who are you listening to? Are you worrying about how you're going to manifest these goals? The how old, y'all know how it goes. You put it on paper. This is what I'm doing. You work towards that. You keep doing what you need to do. The how just shows up. The how shows up big time. And one important thing, and I'm really trying to stay in practice that I get up and be thankful that you are able to breathe and move around and have another day to enjoy. Be thankful on everything. Be thankful. Even if you're facing difficult, still be thankful. Don't let anything take you down to a negative place, no matter what it is. Be thankful. Because, like all of the hard processes you might go through, that's going to make you a better person anyway. Learning how to not succumb to the negative mental spaces. So, man, yeah, somebody asked me, do I still rock with Dr. Daniels? Yeah, but she doesn't make videos like she used to because they kept cutting her stuff off. But she pops up on YouTube every now and then. She pops up. C King Bay say peace, everyone. Let's go back to the beginning. Omar L says peace, Akiem. Yazid Bay says peace. Um, let's see who else. Corinne says happy Tuesday, everyone. And Indy Circle says peace, my brother. And Church of Vince said hit the likes, man. Hit this 9 people. Let me more. That's good. Thank you. Thank you for the likes. Like I said, I'm gonna do another webinar on that passport to help y'all do the affidavits for your children, so that y'all can have that in your arsenal. You see? Yep. Let me see what happened here. All right, so I'm gonna leave y'all to it. Leave y'all to it. I'm taking care of something real quick. Taking care. All right. Well, remember Thursday? Did she put the link in the chat? Let me see. DJ OJ said peace to the gods, and Jody Stickamo says shalom. Corinne, if you don't mind, can you put your link to your show in the chat so people can follow you on Thursday? If you don't mind. C King Bay or whoever can do it quicker. I want it in there before I shut down the show so I can put it on the screen. While they doing that, waiting for that link. While I'm waiting for that link, I'm gonna do this. And that static are being sacrificed. And that's if your stuff's not available, they can't hear it. Sometimes you gotta feel your way through the dark, and I struggled. That wasn't the video I was looking for. That wasn't the video. That wasn't it. Da-da-da. Let's see. I'm just randomly pulling up videos. Why that folder was empty? Let's see. Did she put it in there? I don't see the link. Or type it. I'm trying to find a good video for y'all to watch on my way out for a little bit. Da-da-da. I would play a Dr. Daniels clip, but shoot, they be busting them up. Last time they took it down, said I was disseminating bad information. I'm like, what? That's what they said. That's what they said. Like, I don't know how it's bad. Be working for me. Let's see. Let's do this one. All right. Well, I'll talk to y'all next time. Peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth. Let's see this one. In the trust. Here it says a trust is a legal arrangement that allows you to transfer ownership of your assets, such as a car, to your trustee. This can offer a number of advantages, including asset protection, privacy, and the ability. Oh, let me share the screen. Yes, y'all just gonna let me read that, right? Y'all gonna do that? That's how we do it. It's just gonna let me do that. Here we go. Somebody's coming in. Let's start over. What's the benefits of putting your car in a trust? A trust is a legal arrangement that allows you to transfer ownership of your assets, such as your car, to a trustee. This can offer a number of advantages, including asset protection, privacy, and the ability to pass down your assets to future generations. One of the primary benefits of putting your car in a trust is asset protection. If you own a car, it is considered an asset that can be seized to pay off debts or lawsuits. By putting your car into a trust, you can protect it from creditors and ensure that it remains in your control, even in the event of financial difficulties. Let me stop right there. The best way to protect a car in a trust is to make it an irrevocable trust. If it's a standard, living trust, but it's not irrevocable, whoever's involved in that trust will have issues with the trust. Say if the trustee has financial issues, tax issues, because in some senses, the trustee is considered the legal owner of the asset. The grantor, if he's got tax issues or other lawsuits, they can penetrate that trust, depending on how it's written. But if it's an irrevocable trust considered its own entity, and none of the parties involved have any liability because that asset belongs to that trust. The trustee is just managing it. All right. So some people will say, oh, if it's irrevocable, you can't change it, this, that, and the other. That's true. But if you have wording in that trust that gives the trustee power to buy and sell and title property and take title to property, you could put a car in the trust and it can come out of it, long as that language is there. And that's going to be a very important language to have in there, especially when you're registering the car. They are going to look for that. When I get to that part, I'll go into detail. Another advantage of putting your car into a trust is privacy. When you put your car into a trust, it is no longer in your name and therefore not listed as one of your assets. This can provide you with a sense of privacy and confidentiality and help to keep your financial information private. In addition to asset protection and privacy, putting your car into a trust can also allow you to pass down your assets to future generations. So depending on how you write this trust, you can say who gets it next. There won't no arguments over your property. Make sure nobody else is trying to get in. Doesn't look like it. We're still missing 2 people. All right. That means your car can be passed to your children or other beneficiaries without the need for probate court proceedings. This can save your loved ones time, money, and stress, and ensure that your assets are distributed according to your wishes. In conclusion, putting your car in a trust offers a number of benefits, including asset protection, privacy, the ability to pass down your assets to future generations. The other benefit that's not mentioned here, when you buy a car with a trust, especially if you take a loan out, that is considered a business expense. So that loan can be written off. Those payments, those monthly payments, you could write them off as an expense to the trust. Registration, any fees, oil changes, all that stuff can be passed, become a tax credit. Now, if you have it in your name and you're using it what they call personal use, they're not going to give you that tax break on some of the stuff that you do unless you're using that specific car for work-related stuff. And then you have to separate separate from what's personal and what's not. But when it's already titled to a trust, it's a business expense. When you open up a bank account for a trust, it's a business account. So that's the major benefit to having your car in a trust. All right. So those are the benefits. So you got to create your trust before you can buy a car, put it in, title it into a trust. You got to create a trust. Creating a trust is a process of establishing a legal arrangement which trustees hold and manage assets such as property or financial assets on behalf of one or more beneficiaries. The process of creating a trust involves several steps, including 1, determine the purpose of the trust. For the purpose of this webinar, you're creating a trust for a car. Now, this is what I do. I have several trusts. I have a trust specifically for cars, and I have a trust specifically for properties such as a house or other valuable assets. I will not put a car in the same trust as a house. Why? I'm driving around in this car all day. I hit somebody. I'm at fault. And if my insurance doesn't cover everything, and something really serious happens and that trust, that insurance policy for the car doesn't cover everything, they can go after the other assets that belong to that trust. So if you have your home and your car in the same trust, they can come after that car, just like any other individual. A trust is an individual, it's a person. So it can be sued just like anybody, anything. So be mindful when you put in a car in the trust that you don't put it put anything in that trust that you don't want to lose. Okay? That's just the way I do it. So when I bought the car I'm going to show you that how I did it, there's nothing else in that trust but that car. That's it. So there you have it. All right. Choose your trustee. The next step is to choose a trustee who will be responsible for managing assets in the trust. This can be an individual or an institution such as a bank or trust company. So they're saying an individual could be a trust or a institution. Basically what they're saying, an entity, any entity can be a trustee as well. So if you're in my premium membership, we show you how to have a trust, and then you create another trust that looks like you. So like my name is Akiem Barber. I have an Akiem Barber trust. But that Akiem Barber trust is a trustee for my other trust. But it looks like me, but it ain't me. All right, so I control all of these entities through EINs and trust, but I don't own any of it. Okay? Me the living.
Peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to all you guys.
This is Hindsight Radio. I represent it. The information station changing the nation.